plush and velvet embrace of your bed, whilst the world outside begins to fade into a distant and hazy memory. You are perfectly safe here, utterly protected within the sturdy and oaken walls of this ancient whispering cabin, whilst the snow falls softly, hushing and brushing against the window panes, in a rhythmic and lulling dance of winter. Breathe in slowly and deeply, and breathe out, letting every flickering thought and every tiny grain of tension simply melt away like a single snowflake, landing upon a warm and waiting palm. The air in this room is glowingly warm, heavy with the scent of aged cedar, and the faint sweet perfume of dried lavender tucked into the corners of your pillow. Feel the weight of your body heavy, and so very heavy, pressing down into the mattress, as if you are sinking into a cloud of soft and white down. We shall begin this journey of tranquility at the very tips of your toes, those small and tired travelers that have carried you through the day. Imagine them now wiggling ever so slightly, feeling the soft and woolen texture of your socks before they grow still, utterly still, and wonderfully and blissfully heavy. Let the relaxation flow like a slow and golden honey from your toes into the arches of your feet, and further still into your heels, feeling them sink deeper and deeper into the softness beneath you. Your ankles, so often tight and held, now begin to loosen and to soften, to unburden themselves of the day's journey, whilst the biting cold of the exterior world remains far beyond these walls. The warmth of the nearby hearth, where the fire burns with a low and steady orange glow, seems to radiate toward you, bathing your feet in a gentle and pulsing heat that soothes every muscle and every tiny nerve. Now let this sensation of heavy and drifting peace rise upwards, flowing like a calm and moonlit tide into your calves. Feel the muscles there, those long and sturdy muscles simply letting go, becoming soft and loose, as if they are turning into liquid starlight. There is no need to move, no need to do anything at all but to lie here, listening to the faint and distant pitter-patter of the snow and the low rumbling and rhythmic purring of the cat curled at the foot of your bed. As the relaxation climbs further, reaching your knees, feel the joints softening and releasing any lingering tightness, as if they are being bathed in a warm and soothing oil. Your thighs, heavy and weary, now surrender completely to the pull of gravity, sinking and drifting and floating downwards into the deep and dark quiet of the night. You are becoming part of the bed, part of the room, part of the very silence that blankets the frozen lake outside, a silence that is vast and endless, and profoundly and beautifully peaceful. The stillness moves now into your hips, the very center of your being, where so much tension often hides away. Imagine that tension simply evaporating, turning into a fine and white mist that drifts away into the shadows of the room. Your lower back, supported so perfectly by the mattress, feels wide and soft, every vertebra loosening and every muscle relaxing its hold, until you feel as though you are floating upon a calm and dark sea, far away from the noise and the light of the waking world. Listen for a moment to the fire in the hearth, crackling and popping tách, a sound of ancient comfort that has echoed through cabins like this for 1,000 years. Your stomach and your chest rise and fall with the rhythm of your breath, a slow and steady and hypnotic tide, in and out, deep and slow, whilst the wind outside moans softly, a low and lonely sound that only makes you feel warmer and safer and more cosseted within your cocoon of blankets. Your fingers, those busy and restless things, are now still, draped across the sheets like fallen petals. Feel the warmth tingle in each fingertip, moving slowly through your palms into your wrists and up into your forearms. Your elbows soften, your upper arms grow heavy and so heavy until they feel as though they are made of solid and ancient stone, unmoving and utterly at rest. There is a profound stillness here, a tranquility that is as deep as the ice upon the lake, yet you are wrapped in a warmth that is absolute, a cocoon of soft and white silence. Let your shoulders drop further and further away from your ears, releasing the weight of the world that you have carried for so long. The peace reaches your face, now smoothing the brow and relaxing the tiny muscles around your eyes. until your eyelids feel heavy and weighted with the velvet darkness of a winter night. They are so heavy, so very heavy, that even the thought of opening them seems like a dream from another life. Your whole head is cradled by the pillow, sinking into the softness as your mind begins to drift and to wander and to float away from the shore of wakefulness. You are here in this cabin amidst the white and frozen wilderness, yet you are warm, and so warm and safe and so safe. The world outside is a canvas of white and grey, but here inside there is only the orange glow of the embers and the slow and steady heartbeat of the house. Every breath you take carries you further away, deeper into the forest of dreams, where the trees are heavy with silver frost and the air is as still as a held breath. You are so sleepy now, so wonderfully and beautifully sleepy, as the heavy and warm and comforting blanket of the night folds itself around you, tucking you in and keeping you safe, whilst the snow continues its endless and silent fall upon the frozen world outside. Sinking and drifting, floating and dreaming, you are descending into the quiet heart of the night, where time has no meaning, and the silence is your only companion. Now with the threshold of wakefulness gently crossed, and your body anchored in a blissful and heavy stillness, let us step softly, so very softly, into the heart of our winter sanctuary. You find yourself no longer merely lying down, but existing entirely within the warm and wooden embrace of the cabin's grand hall, a space where time has ceased its frantic ticking and settled into a slow and slumberous hum. The air here is a thick and velvet tapestry of sensations, a rich and amber atmosphere that tastes of tranquility and ancient secrets. Breathe in the scent of this place, for it is a fragrance of deep and enduring comfort. It is the aroma of seasoned cedar logs, sun-drenched and earth-born, releasing their resinous soul into the warmth of the room. Beneath the sharp and clean perfume of the wood, there lies the faint and ghostly scent of dried orange peels and cloves, a spicy and honeyed undertone that lingers in the air like a whispered memory of forgotten winters. Look now toward the hearth, the glowing and pulsing heart of this wooden fortress, where a single oak log is being slowly and meticulously consumed by the fire. Observe this flame, not as a flickering light, but as a living and breathing entity of gold and crimson dance. See how the heat coaxes a tiny and microscopic bead of sap from the craggy and blackened bark, a golden pearl that sizzles and pops tách before it is transformed into a wisp of silver smoke. The fire does not leap with haste. It sways and swings, curling and coiling around the timber with a rhythmic and hypnotic grace. The light it casts is a warm and molten honey flowing across the floorboards and bathing the room in a soft and flickering bronze. Every shadow created by this light is a soft and velvety thing, stretching and shrinking across the walls in a slow-motion ballet that matches the steady and calm beating of your own peaceful heart. The walls of this cabin are masterpieces of time and nature, each log a sturdy and unyielding sentinel that has stood against 100 storms. Reach out with your mind and feel the texture of the wood, the way the grain flows like a frozen river under the touch of the firelight. There are knots in the timber, dark and circular eyes that hold the wisdom of the forest, and as the heat touches them, they seem to pulse with a low and steady resonance. The wood is not merely brown. It is a spectrum of ochre and mahogany, of burnt umber and sun-faded gold, all merging and blurring into a single and unified shield of protection. The cabin is a vessel of absolute safety, a sturdy and silent ship floating amidst the vast and white-out wilderness of the frozen lake. Turn your gaze slowly, with a deliberate and languid effort, toward the great window that looks out upon the world of ice. The glass is thick and old, and upon its surface the frost has etched a series of delicate and crystalline ferns, silver and sharp, blooming in the cold-kissed silence. These ice flowers are intricate and endlessly complex, a microscopic forest of silver that guards the boundary between the warm interior and the cold void beyond. Through the clear spaces amidst the frost, you can see the frozen lake, a vast and monochromatic expanse of white and grey stretching away into the hazy and dim horizon. The lake is a mirror of steel, silent and unmoving under its heavy blanket of snow, whilst the wind moans softly against the eaves, a low and lonely sound that only serves to deepen the profound and beautiful stillness of your sanctuary. Beside your chair there sits a low table of polished walnut, its surface reflecting the dancing flames like a dark and liquid pool. Upon this table sits a heavy and ceramic mug, its sides decorated with hand-painted pines, holding within it a brew of dark chocolate and warming cinnamon. The steam rises from the cup in slow and lazy spirals, twirling and twisting, winding and wandering into the shadows of the rafters. You do not need to drink. The mere presence of its warmth and the sweet scent of the cocoa is enough to wrap another layer of comfort around your senses. Everything in this space is designed for your rest. Every object, a silent and faithful companion in this long and silver night. Look at the corners of the room, where the light fades into a rich and comforting gloom. There the shadows are deep and inviting, like piles of soft and black velvet waiting to hold your thoughts. The bookshelves are filled with old and leather-bound volumes, their spines cracked and worn by the touch of many hands, holding within them stories of peace and journeys to distant and quiet lands. The scent of aged paper and ink mingles with the woodsmoke, creating a perfume of intellectual and physical rest. You are surrounded by the history of comfort, by the architecture of tranquility, and by the absolute and unwavering mercy of the heat. The floor beneath you is covered by a thick and hand-woven rug, a tapestry of deep blues and forest greens that muffles every sound and holds the warmth of the hearth within its fibers. You can imagine the feeling of that wool, soft and slightly coarse, pressing against your skin, a grounding and sturdy texture that connects you to the earth. Even as your mind begins to drift and to float, the cabin is settling its timbers, groaning softly as they adjust to the weight of the snow upon the roof, a rhythmic and hushing sound that is like the breath of the house itself. It is a sound of endurance, a sound of strength, and a sound of a home that is watching over you whilst you surrender to the night. Now notice the ginger cat that has made its home upon the rug, a soft and round mound of fur that pulses with the slow and steady rhythm of its own deep slumber. It is a creature of pure and uncomplicated peace, its ears twitching once, twice, as it dreams of sun-dappled glades and the hum of summer bees. The sound of its purring is a low and rumbly vibration, a hoo-hoo sound that seems to resonate through the floorboards and into your very soul. It is the ultimate melody of contentment, a sound that tells you there is no danger, no haste, and no worry in this world. You are sinking into the same animal peace, your breathing slowing to match the cat's effortless and timeless tempo. The light in the room is slowly maturing the bright and leaping flames of the initial fire, now settling into a bed of glowing and incandescent embers. The room is growing dimmer, the shadows lengthening and lingering, turning the cabin into a cathedral of amber and gold. This dimming is not a loss of light, but an invitation to darkness, a gentle and hushing persuasion for your eyelids to remain closed, and for your spirit to wander further into the halls of sleep. You are perfectly poised on the edge of the great white silence, held in a state of grace by the wood, the fire, and the frozen lake. Every breath you take is now a slow and deliberate act of taking in the peace of the cabin and releasing the last lingering shadows of the day. The air is warm and heavy, a comforting and velvet weight that presses against your chest, encouraging you to let go, to surrender, and to sink. You are the guest of the winter, the master of this sanctuary, and the recipient of a tranquility that is as deep and as vast as the mountains that guard the horizon. Safe, you are safe. Warm, you are warm. And the night is a long and beautiful and silent embrace that will never let you go. Now, as you sit within the heart of this wooden sanctuary, let us draw our focus inward, deeper still, to the world of touch and sound, where every sensation is a slow and rhythmic lullaby. Feel the blanket that is draped across your lap, a heavy hand-knitted tapestry of thick grey wool that carries the weight of 1,000 quiet evenings. Reach out with your mind, sensing the intricate textured landscape of its weave. It is a coarse, yet comforting terrain, a series of ridges and valleys, loops and knots that hold within them 1,000 tiny pockets of warm, stagnant air. The wool is substantial, pressing down upon your thighs, with a weight that is grounding, a weight that whispers of safety and of being held firmly in place whilst the storm rages in the world beyond. Feel the individual fibers, tiny and soft, brushing and tickling against the skin of your wrists, a sensation that is both prickly and soothing, a gentle reminder of the raw, natural world that has been brought inside to keep you warm and sheltered. The warmth beneath the blanket is a living thing, a slow-moving tide of heat that has seeped from the hearth and settled into the very soul of the fabric. It travels upwards, drifting and flowing, coiling and curling around your legs and settling into the small of your back. This heat is heavy and dense, a golden nectar that seems to penetrate through the layers of your clothing, through your skin, and deep into the very marrow of your dreaming bones. You are being marinated in tranquility, submerged in a bath of warmth that is as constant as the falling snow. As you remain still, the heat builds, becoming a thick and velvety cocoon that separates you from the cold, frost-kissed air of the room. You can feel the boundary where the warmth of your body meets the warmth of the wool, a blurring of edges that makes you feel as though you are expanding, softening and melting into the furniture itself. Your hands resting upon the arms of the chair are aware of the smooth, polished surface of the seasoned oak. It is cool to the touch at first, a stark contrast to the heat of the fire. But as your palms linger there, the wood begins to drink in your warmth, reflecting it back to you in a silent, tactile exchange. The grain of the wood is a map of time, a series of ripples and waves that you can feel with the sensitive tips of your fingers. It is solid and unyielding, a testament to the strength of the trees that stand tall amidst the frozen forest. Yet it feels sympathetic, a kind and sturdy companion in this long white night. You trace the line of a single groove, moving your finger with agonizing slowness, sensing the minute imperfections, the tiny dips and rises that give the wood its character and its soul. This is the touch of the ancient earth, refined and shaped into a vessel for your absolute rest. Now let the sound of the room wash over you, a symphony of silence and soft rhythmic noises that anchor you to the present moment. Listen to the wind, that great invisible giant that roams across the surface of the frozen lake. It does not just blow. It sings, it moans, it rumbles and whispers. It finds the corners of the cabin and breathes into them, creating a low, hollow whistle that rises and falls like the breath of a sleeping beast. You can hear it rushing through the needles of the pine trees, outside a sound like distant waves crashing upon a shore of glass. It is a lonely sound, a cold, cold and biting sound, but from your position of absolute safety it is merely a backdrop to your peace. The wind howls and shrieks in its wintry rage, but here it is muffled by the thick log walls and the heavy drifts of snow, reduced to a gentle hushing murmur that encourages you to sink even deeper into your chair. Beneath the song of the wind, there is the sharp and rhythmic percussion of the fire, a constant crackling that keeps time with the ticking clock. Each snap is a tiny explosion of energy, a sudden release of heat and light that cuts through the stillness of the room with a comforting regularity. You can hear the hiss of the sap as it escapes from the burning wood, a tiny sizzling whisper that speaks of summer suns and forgotten forest rains. The fire is never silent. It mumbles and grumbles. It pops and sighs, a constant, comforting chatter that fills the spaces between your thoughts. It is the sound of life consuming itself to give you warmth, a selfless and beautiful sacrifice that bathes the room in a sense of timeless domesticity. Every pop and crack is a reminder that the world is being cared for, that the fire is your guardian, and that the night is your friend. And then there is the purr of the cat, that low rumbling vibration that seems to come from the very floorboards beneath your feet. It is a sound so steady, so mechanical in its perfection, that it becomes a part of your own nervous system. It is a rhythmic and deep-seated thrumming that speaks of absolute contentment and a total lack of fear. The cat does not care for the storm. It does not worry about the frozen lake or the whiteout conditions that have claimed the world. It only knows the warmth of the rug and the rhythm of its own breath. As you listen to this sound, you feel your own pulse slowing, synchronizing with the cat's effortless peace. The purring is a heavy golden cord that anchors you to the present moment, pulling you down, down, down into a state of blissful, unthinking existence. You become aware of the sound of your own breathing, a soft and rhythmic hushing that matches the ebb and flow of the fire's light, in and out, slow and deep, the air moving through your lungs like a gentle tide upon a silver shore. The air in the cabin is still and heavy scented with the musk of woodsmoke and the sharp, clean smell of the cold that manages to creep in through the smallest gaps. Every breath you take is a meditation, a slow and deliberate act of taking in the peace of the room and releasing any final lingering shadows of the day. You are surrounded by a wall of sound that is actually a wall of silence, a protective barrier that keeps the noise of the world far, far away. Listen to the ticking of the clock once more, but now hear the spaces between the ticks. Those long, silent gaps are where time truly lives in this sanctuary. In those silences, the world stops turning, and the night becomes an endless, infinite expanse. The tick is merely a marker, a buoy floating upon a vast and dark ocean of tranquility. You find yourself waiting for the next tick, not with anticipation, but with a lazy, drifting curiosity. Each tick is a small brass-colored pebble dropped into a deep, still pool, and you watch the ripples spread outwards further and further until they vanish into the velvet shadows of the corners. The time here is not measured in minutes, but in the depth of your relaxation, in the weight of your limbs, and in the clarity of the silence. The cabin itself makes its own sounds, the groans and creaks of seasoned timber as it settles into the snow. These are the sounds of a house that is alive, a structure that is breathing and shifting amidst the cold. A floorboard settles with a faint, dry snap. A beam high above sighs under the weight of the accumulated snow upon the roof. These noises are not startling. They are familiar and friendly, the sounds of a sturdy ship navigating a sea of ice. They remind you that you are enclosed in a shell of strength, a fortress of wood and stone that has stood against 100 winters and will stand against 100 more. You are protected, you are shielded, and you are held in the palm of a giant wooden hand. The silence of the snow itself is a sound, a heavy muffling pressure that blankets everything beyond the glass. It is the sound of absence, the sound of the world being tucked in for a long white sleep. You can almost hear the snowflakes landing one by one, adding their infinitesimal weight to the drifts that lean against the walls. It is a softly, softly hushing sound, a cosmic whisper that tells you that all is quiet, all is still, and all is exactly as it should be. The lake is silent under its armor of ice. The trees are silent in their coats of frost, and you in your chair by the fire are the most silent of all. Feel the heavy, sleepy vibration of the room once more, the way the sound and the touch intermingle to create a single unified experience of peace. The warmth of the blanket feels like the sound of the purring. The light of the fire feels like the texture of the wood. Everything is merging, blurring, drifting into a single golden haze of sensory bliss. You are no longer an observer of these things. You are a part of them. You are the warmth, you are the crackle, you are the moan of the wind and the silence of the snow. You are floating, drifting, sinking, moving deeper into the first layer of this frozen dream, where the only reality is the comfort of the now. Every muscle in your body has surrendered. Every thought has turned into a slow-moving cloud, and every sound is an invitation to let go even further. You are safe, you are warm, and you are being carried away on a tide of velvet darkness, deeper and deeper into the quiet heart of the winter. Falling, falling, falling. The snow descends in a rhythmic and endless cascade, a silent and silver curtain that draws itself tighter and tighter around the cabin, whilst you remain anchored, safely anchored in the deep and velvet heart of the stillness. Every flake that lands is a soft and hushing promise of peace, a tiny and crystalline weight that adds to the great white silence of the world. Falling, falling, falling. The forest, beyond the frozen lake, is disappearing, its ancient pines becoming mere ghosts. In the whiteout, their heavy snow-laden branches bowing and bending, swaying and swinging in a slow-motion dance of winter. You can feel the vastness of that forest, a labyrinth of silver and shadow, where the air is so cold it remains frozen in time. Yet here, amidst the golden glow of the hearth, you are warm, so warm and safe, so very safe. Drifting, drifting, drifting. Your awareness begins to expand, floating away from the edges of your chair and wandering through the shadows of the room like a sleepy spirit. The firelight reaches out, touching the antique bookshelves with fingers of amber and bronze, illuminating the spines of old leather-bound volumes that have rested there for decades. You can almost feel the texture of that aged leather, cool and smooth, holding within its pages the quiet wisdom of 1,000 winter nights. The shadows in the corners are growing deeper, richer, more velvety, stretching and shrinking, pulsing and pulling in time with the flickering flames. Everything is moving in a slow, hypnotic cadence, a rhythmic ebb and flow that mimics the beating of a heart at rest. Drifting, drifting, drifting. The boundaries of the room are softening the walls, becoming as permeable as mist as you merge with the very atmosphere of the sanctuary. Quiet, so perfectly quiet. The only sound is the low, rhythmic thrumming of the cat, a sound that is now so constant, it has become the foundation of your reality. It is a vibration of pure contentment, a steady and hushing melody that tells your mind it is time to let go, to surrender, to sink into the heavy, heavy dark. The fire answers with its own rhythmic snapping, a crisp and comforting sound that echoes through the silence like a distant memory of safety. The clock on the mantel continues its slow and heavy measurement of an afternoon that has no end each second, a long and languid drop of golden honey. The rhythm is everywhere in the pulse of the light, in the moan of the wind, and in the slow, steady rise and fall of your own chest. Quiet, so beautifully quiet. The world has stopped, the clocks have slowed, and there is only this moment, this warmth, this absolute and unwavering peace. Heavy, so wonderfully heavy. Your limbs feel as though they are made of the same ancient stone as the hearth, unmoving and grounded in the deep soil of the earth. The blanket across your lap is no longer just fabric. It is a shield of warmth, a heavy and comforting embrace that keeps the cold world at bay. You can feel the weight of it pressing down, a gentle and insistent reminder that you are here, you are safe, and you are allowed to rest. Your head sinks deeper into the soft, feather-filled cushion, and you feel the tension in your neck simply evaporating, turning into a fine silver mist that drifts away into the rafters. Every muscle has given up its hold, every fiber has slackened, leaving you in a state of blissful and total surrender. Heavy, so peacefully heavy, the pull of the earth is a kind and loving force drawing you down into the velvet darkness of the night. Floating, floating, floating. You find yourself looking out through the frost ferns on the window pane once more, watching the way the wind carves the snow into great sweeping curves upon the surface of the lake. The ice is thick, a solid and unmoving slab of silver blue that hides the deep, dark waters beneath. You imagine the silence under that ice, a world where the cold is absolute and the stillness is eternal. There is no movement there, no light, only the long and dreaming sleep of the water. You feel a kinship with that stillness, a sense that your own mind is becoming like the frozen lake, vast, calm, and undisturbed by the storms on the surface. Floating, 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 you are drifting over the ice, a light and ethereal presence that leaves no footprints, moving further and further into the white-grey expanse of the winter wilderness. Safe, so eternally safe. The cabin is a sturdy vessel in a sea of white, its timbers groaning softly as they settle into the embrace of the snow. You can hear the wind moaning against the chimney, a lonely and haunting sound that only serves to highlight the warmth of your cocoon. The storm is a beautiful thing to behold from behind the safety of the glass, a display of nature's raw and ancient power that cannot reach you here. You are tucked away in a pocket of time, a secret place where the rules of the world do not apply. There is no tomorrow to prepare for, no yesterday to remember. There is only the fire, the cat, and the endless fall of the snow. Safe, so perfectly safe. You are held in the heart of the winter, protected by the wood, the stone, and the deep, dark mercy of the night. Sinking, sinking, sinking. The light in the room is growing dimmer now, as the fire settles into a bed of glowing crimson embers. The bright dancing flames have matured into a steady and incandescent pulse, a low-frequency glow that casts long, slumberous shadows across the ceiling. The orange light is soft, warm, bathing your closed eyelids in a gentle rose-colored haze. You can feel the darkness of the room pressing in, not as a cold or frightening thing, but as a soft and velvet blanket that is being pulled up over your head. The shadows are your friends, quiet and ancient companions that invite you to close your eyes and join them in their slow and rhythmic dance. Sinking, sinking, sinking. You are descending into the deeper layers of the dream, where the air is thick with the scent of pine and peace. Timeless, so utterly timeless. The ticking of the clock has become a distant, muffled sound, like a heartbeat heard through water. You no longer know if minutes have passed or hours, and it does not matter. In this cabin, time is a river that has frozen solid, a still and silver path that leads nowhere but to this very moment. The snow will continue to fall, the wind will continue to moan, and the fire will continue to glow long after you have drifted into the deepest reaches of sleep. You are part of an ancient cycle, a winter ritual of rest and renewal that has been played out in places like this for 1,000 years. Timeless, so beautifully timeless. You are a leaf caught in the ice, a star held in the darkness, a soul at rest in the heart of the storm. Dreaming, dreaming, dreaming. The images of the cabin begin to blur and shift, turning into the soft and hazy shapes of a winter landscape. You see the pine trees heavy with frost, their needles shimmering like diamonds in the faint ghostly light of the moon. You see the frozen lake, a mirror of silver that reflects the vast and starlit sky. You see the smoke from the chimney, a thin and silver ribbon that rises and twirls, winding and wandering into the infinite darkness. It is a world of white and blue, of silver and shadow, a world where the only sound is the whisper of the snow and the breath of the wind. Dreaming, dreaming, dreaming. You are letting go of the shore, pushing off into the dark and silent waters of the lake of sleep. Peaceful, so profoundly peaceful. Every part of you is now in harmony with the stillness of the room. Your breath is slow and steady, your heart is a calm and rhythmic pulse, and your mind is a quiet, starlit pool of water. There is no more tension, no more thought, only the heavy and beautiful sensation of being. You are at peace with the winter, at peace with the storm, and at peace with the long and silent night. The cabin is your sanctuary, the snow is your blanket, and the fire is your guide. Peaceful, so eternally peaceful. You are ready to sink deeper, to drift further, to become one with the endless and velvet darkness. Drifting, sinking, floating, The words begin to fade, becoming mere echoes in the vast and silent chambers of your mind. You are moving away from the light, away from the warmth, and into the cool and silver embrace of the deep dream. Deeper still we sink, drifting and descending into the very marrow of the night, where the world is reduced to the smallest, most secret movements of the silence. The fire has surrendered its bright, leaping dance, settling instead into a profound and pulsing bed of embers, a landscape of glowing coal that breathes with a slow, incandescent rhythm. Amidst this tranquility, the ceramic mug upon the table remains a steadfast companion, though its contents have long since ceased their steaming. The dark chocolate within has become a still and glossy mirror, a miniature lake of mahogany that holds the room's dim light within its liquid depths. There is a profound beauty in this cooling, a slow and graceful relinquishing of heat that mirrors your own surrender to the night. The liquid is becoming heavier, thicker, settling into a state of absolute rest, whilst the cinnamon scent lingers in the air like a fading whisper, a ghostly remnant of warmth that floats and wanders, weaving itself into the velvet fabric of the shadows. Look toward the window pane where the frost ferns have continued their slow and silent conquest of the glass. If you were to look closely, so very closely, you might see the way a single crystal of ice grows, extending its silver arms with a deliberate and painstaking slowness. It is a movement that defies time, a microscopic ballet of geometry and cold. Each tiny branch of the ice flower reaches out, grasping the frozen air, etching a path of silver across the pane in a rhythm that is as steady as the falling snow. The frost does not rush. It blossoms with a quiet and ancient patience, creating a barrier of crystalline beauty between you and the vast white wilderness. The patterns are intricate, delicate, and endlessly complex, a silver forest growing within the warmth of your sanctuary whilst the world outside remains a void of white and grey. You find yourself mesmerized by this slow motion growth, your mind following the line of a single silver thread as it winds and wanders, drifting and dreaming, until it merges with the greater tapestry of the ice. Beneath the window, a single snowflake has found its way into a tiny crevice in the wood, a lone traveler from the storm that has come to rest in the warmth. It does not melt in an instant. Instead, it undergoes a slow and luminous transformation. It sits there, a perfect six-sided star of frozen water, shimmering with a faint internal light. Slowly, oh so slowly, its sharp edges begin to soften, to round, to blur. It becomes a tiny, clear orb of water, a liquid diamond that clings to the grain of the wood with a delicate tension. You watch with eyes that are nearly closed as this tiny bead of water begins to slide, moving with an agonizing slowness down the dark timber. It is a journey of inches that takes an eternity, a slow and rhythmic descent that captures the very essence of the cabin's peace. The water is heavy and clear, a tiny vessel of purity that eventually disappears into the thirsty wood, leaving behind only a faint darkening trace that slowly fades into the surrounding shadow. The shadows themselves are no longer still. They are performing a slow and hypnotic ballet upon the walls. Cast by the low pulsing glow of the embers, they stretch and lengthen, spreading across the floorboards like liquid ink. A shadow from the tall grandfather clock in the corner moves with a rhythmic and heavy grace, an elongated finger of darkness that counts the passing of time in inches rather than seconds. It reaches out, touching the edge of the rug before retreating as the embers dim a pulsing and pulling movement that matches the ebb and flow of your own breath. The shadows are soft and velvety, blurring at the edges until they merge with the deep, dark mahogany of the shelves. There is no sharpness here, no harsh lines, only a sea of grey and black that rises and falls, swaying and swinging, coiling and curling around the furniture like a sleepy, invisible tide. You are floating amidst these shadows, a part of the darkness, drifting and sinking into the soft embrace of the room. The cat at your feet has moved even deeper into its slumber. its body now a soft and unmoving mound of ginger fir. The rhythmic purr has slowed, becoming a low-frequency vibration that is felt more than heard, a hushing and rumbly sound that resonates with the very bones of the house. Each breath the cat takes is a long and languid event, its ribcage rising and falling with a slow and mechanical perfection. It is a creature of pure instinct and peace, utterly unaware of the storm that rages against the walls. And as you watch the slow-motion twitch of a single whisker, you feel your own consciousness narrowing, focusing down to this one tiny detail. The world is nothing but the warmth of the fur, the rhythm of the breath, and the deep, dark silence that blankets the room. You are sinking into the same animal peace, where thought is replaced by sensation, and time is nothing but a heartbeat. Listen to the very last of the fire, as a single ember breaks apart a tiny cataclysm of light and heat. It does not snap or pop. It simply sighs, a soft and dusty sound, as the glowing structure collapses into a bed of fine grey ash. The orange light within the crack fades, slowly turning from a brilliant gold to a deep bruised crimson before vanishing into the velvet blackness. The ash is light and ethereal, a powdery ghost of the wood that once stood tall in the forest. It sits there unmoving and silent, a testament to the absolute stillness of the hearth. You can almost feel the weightlessness of that ash, the way it would drift and float on the slightest breath of air. A silver mist that carries the memory of the fire. Everything in the room is settling, moving toward a state of perfect, unmoving equilibrium, where the heat and the cold, the light and the dark are held in a delicate and eternal balance. The wind outside has found a new lower note, a deep and resonant moan that vibrates through the chimney like the string of a great celestial cello. It is a sound of immense distance and ancient cold, a song that has been sung since the beginning of the world. But here within the cabin, the sound is transformed into a hushing and lulling melody, a rhythmic hushing that encourages you to let go of the last threads of wakefulness. The wind is the breath of the mountain, the breath of the frozen lake, and as it brushes against the eaves, it seems to be whispering a single, endless word: sleep, sleep, sleep. The sound is endless and timeless, a circular melody that has no beginning and no end, a sea of sound that carries you further and further from the shore of the real world. You feel as though you are becoming as still as the ice upon the lake, a vast and silent expanse of consciousness that is cold on the surface, but warm and deep within. Your thoughts are no longer words. They are images, hazy and blurred, floating like icebergs in a dark and silent sea. You see the pine trees heavy with their burdens of snow unmoving amidst the storm. You see the white out of the frozen world, the place where direction has no meaning, and the only path is the one that leads inward to the center of your own peace. You are drifting, floating, sinking, moving into the very heart of the silence, where the only movement is the slow and rhythmic pulse of the universe. The air in the cabin is now perfectly still, a heavy and velvet curtain that has been drawn across the world. The scent of the wood smoke is faint, almost gone, replaced by the clean, sharp smell of the winter night that has seeped into the very pores of the house. You are cocooned in warmth, safe and secure, whilst the great white silence of the snow continues its endless and beautiful work outside. Every part of you is heavy, so wonderfully and beautifully heavy, that the idea of movement is nothing more than a distant and impossible dream. You are exactly where you are meant to be held, in the palm of the winter, safe and warm, and drifting into the deepest, darkest reaches of the night. The light of the room is now a single, pulsing point of crimson in the hearth, a tiny star in a sea of velvet shadow. It is the heart of the house, the heart of the sanctuary, and as you watch it, your eyelids finalize their slow and heavy descent. The world is gone, the cabin is a memory, and there is only the darkness, the warmth, and the long, slow journey into the void. You are ready now, ready to let go, to surrender, to sink into the deep and starlit waters of the eternal dream. Floating and flowing, drifting and dreaming, you find that the heavy weight of your limbs has begun to undergo a strange and beautiful transformation, a gentle undoing of the laws that bind you to the earth, the sensation of the velvet chair beneath you, the pressure of the floor against your heels, the very touch of the woolen blanket upon your skin. All of these physical anchors are beginning to soften, to blur, to dissolve into a fine silver mist of pure tranquility. You are no longer held by the gravity of the day. You are no longer bound by the pull of the world. Instead, you feel yourself rising slowly, and so very slowly, like a single wisp of wood smoke ascending from the hearth, twirling and twisting, winding and wandering into the quiet and starlit air of the room. You are becoming weightless, an ethereal and endless presence that exists amidst the shadows and the light. A soul that has finally found the freedom to float away from the shore of the physical world. The walls of the cabin, once so sturdy and solid, now seem to be made of nothing more than moonlight, and memories translucent and shimmering in the dim glow of the embers. You drift through them effortlessly and silently, moving out into the vast and white-out expanse of the frozen night, whilst the wind whispers secrets to the ice. There is no cold here for you have left the sensation of temperature behind, with your physical shell becoming a spirit of pure and unadulterated peace. You are a shimmering consciousness, a spark of awareness floating amidst the endless fall of the snow, moving in a rhythmic and hushing dance. The snowflakes do not fall past you. You fall with them, drifting and dancing in the slow and hypnotic currents of the mountain air. You are a part of the storm, a part of the silence, a part of the vast and frozen lake that stretches out beneath you like a mirror of dark and polished glass. Look up now, look far beyond the leaden clouds and see the stars that shimmer in the velvet depths of the infinite night. They are like diamonds scattered upon a bed of black silk, pulsing and throbbing with a light that is ancient and timeless. You feel yourself drawn toward them, floating upwards on a tide of absolute tranquility, a silver cord of starlight pulling you deeper into the void. There is no effort in this movement, no will, only a natural and inevitable drifting toward the great and quiet heart of the universe. The air around you is thick with peace, a heavy and hushing atmosphere that muffles even the whispers of your own mind. You are becoming as vast as the sky, as deep as the night, and as silent as the stars themselves. Whilst the world of form fades into nothingness, every breath of the cosmos is your own breath. Every pulse of the light is your own heartbeat, a slow and rhythmic cadence of eternal rest. As you drift through this celestial whiteout, the concept of you begins to expand and soften, spreading like ink in clear and still water. You are the snow that brushes against the frozen pines. You are the wind that moans across the ice. You are the deep and dreaming water that sleeps beneath the frozen surface of the lake. There is no boundary between your spirit and the world around you. There is only a singular and unified flow of existence. You are flowing into the silence, and the silence is flowing into you. A rhythmic and hushing exchange that carries you further and further into the starlit void. The world of noise, of light, of worry and of form is gone, replaced by a silver and shadow-filled landscape of pure being. You are a feather on the breath of the divine, a leaf caught in a gentle and eternal eddy, drifting and dreaming, floating and sinking toward the very center of the stillness. The silence here is not an absence of sound, but a presence of peace, so deep it can be felt in the very essence of your soul. It is a hushing, a whispering melody that sings of the beauty of the empty space, a lullaby of the infinite. You are floating in a sea of velvet darkness, where the only light is the faint and internal glow of your own dreaming mind. There is no direction here, no up or down, no left or right. There is only the sensation of being carried, of being held, of being cherished by the infinite night. You are sinking into the deep and dark well of sleep, but it is a sleep that is wide and vast, and filled with the silver light of the stars. You are unburdened, untethered, and completely free, drifting on a tide of starlight that leads to the furthest reaches of the eternal dream. Feel the weightlessness in your very spirit, the way your thoughts have become like slow-moving clouds, drifting and dissolving in the vast expanse of your consciousness. There is nothing to hold on to and no need to hold on, for the void itself is a cushion of absolute safety. You are letting go, surrender after surrender, layer after layer, until you are nothing but a point of light in the darkness. The frozen lake, the cabin, the fire, and the cat are all distant echoes now, ghosts of a reality that has faded into the whiteout of the past. You are here in the heart of the weightless night, where time is a frozen river, and the only path is the one that leads deeper into the silence. Safe, so safe, floating, so floating, dreaming, so dreaming. You are the night itself, vast and silent, and beautifully eternally at rest. The rhythm of the universe is a slow and steady pulse, a low-frequency hum that vibrates through the emptiness of space. You align yourself with this rhythm, your awareness expanding and contracting in time with the breathing of the ancient stars. In and out, slow and deep, the movement of the cosmos becomes your own. You are part of the great and silver machine of the night, a tiny and essential cog in the wheel of the infinite stillness. There is a profound sense of belonging here, a feeling that you have finally returned to the place where you were always meant to be. The weightlessness is your true state. The silence is your true language, and the darkness is your true home. Whilst the earth spins far below in its own quiet dream, you are sinking, drifting, floating, moving into the very core of the stillness where the world is a memory and the dream is the only truth. Listen to the hushing of the snow as it falls through your spirit, a soft and rhythmic sound that cleanses and quiets the mind. Every flake is a thought that you no longer need to think, a memory that you no longer need to hold. They fall away from you, drifting down into the silver mists below, leaving you lighter and clearer and more transparent. You are becoming like the ice upon the lake, still deep and perfectly calm. The storm of life has passed, leaving only the beautiful and frozen aftermath. A world of silver and shadow, where you can rest forever in the arms of the night. You are floating on the edge of the void, ready to sink into the deepest, darkest, and most peaceful sleep you have ever known. Every moment is a slow-motion expansion, a widening of the horizons of your soul. Amidst the tranquility of the void, you are drifting past the moon, its silver face, a silent witness to your journey into the deep, deep dark. You are floating through the rings of ancient planets, through the dust of dead stars, through the very fabric of time itself, where everything is endless. There is no end to this journey and no beginning. You have always been here, and you will always be here, a weightless and wandering spirit in the heart of the winter. The cabin by the lake was merely a doorway, a threshold that you have crossed to reach this place of absolute and eternal tranquility. You are safe, you are warm, and you are being carried away on the velvet wings of the night, deeper and deeper into the silence. Now, as the last traces of the physical world fade into the whiteout of your mind, you find yourself at the very center of the stillness. There is no movement here, no sound and no thought. There is only the heavy and beautiful weight of the silence, a velvet blanket that covers everything in its path. You are floating in the heart of the great and dark ocean of sleep, and the waters are warm and still and infinitely deep. You are ready to sink, to let the waters close over your head, to descend into the starlit depths, where dreams are born from the shadow. Let go of the light, let go of the warmth, and let go of the self, for there is only the darkness, and the darkness is kind, and the darkness is home. And now, amidst the silver-grey vastness of this frozen world, we descend further still into the realm of the ancient, the immutable, and the eternal. You are no longer merely floating. You are becoming one with the deep, primordial stillness that has held this lake and these mountains since the very dawn of time. The air here is thin and pure, a crystalline silence that tastes of starlight and ancient frost, a silence so profound that it seems to vibrate with the hum of the universe itself. Everything is motionless, utterly and beautifully motionless, as if the entire world has been caught in a single timeless breath, held forever in the cold and silver palm of the north. Look down at the ice beneath your consciousness, that vast and solid mirror that covers the hidden depths of the lake. It is an ancient skin, thick and unyielding, etched with the scars of 1,000 winters and the whispers of 1,000 storms. Beneath this armor of silver blue, the water sleeps in a state of absolute, unwavering tranquility, a dark and dreaming realm where the light of the sun has never reached. You can feel the weight of that water, the heavy and rhythmic pulse of the deep moving with a slowness that defies the measurement of clocks or calendars. It is a world of shadows and secrets, a place where time has been forgotten, and the only reality is the slow-moving tide of the eternal. The mountains that surround the lake rise up like silent sentinels, their craggy peaks lost in the velvet darkness of the starlit sky. They are ancient, so very ancient, made of the same primordial stone that birthed the world. They have watched the stars rise and fall for aeons, standing unmoved amidst the shifting sands of history. You can feel their strength, their steady and unhurried presence as they lean against the night, their slopes covered in a thick and hushing blanket of snow. They do not speak, they do not move. They simply are a testament to the beauty of endurance and the majesty of the still. You are like them now, a part of the landscape, a monument of peace in the heart of the frozen wilderness. The silence of this place is a heavy velvet cloak that folds itself around you, layer upon layer, muffling the last faint echoes of the waking world. It is a hushing, a whispering sound that comes from the very fabric of the air, a cosmic lullaby that sings of the end of all things and the beginning of the great long sleep. You are sinking into this silence, drifting and drowning in a sea of silver and shadow, where the only movement is the slow and rhythmic falling of the eternal snow. Each flake is a piece of the infinite, a tiny messenger of peace that brings with it the stillness of the void. They fall silently, hushing, covering the world in a shroud of white and silver peace. Every breath you take is a slow and deliberate act of communion with the ancient night. In and out, deep and slow, the rhythm of the stars, the rhythm of the mountains, the rhythm of the frozen lake. You are no longer a creature of time. You have stepped outside the flow of the minutes and the hours into the vast and shoreless ocean of the now. There is no past here, no future, only this single incandescent moment of absolute rest. The world of noise and light is a distant memory, a flicker of flame on a far-off shore, whilst you are here in the heart of the eternal winter, safe and warm and profoundly beautifully still. The light of the stars above is ancient light, traveling through the darkness of space for millions of years just to reach your closed eyelids. It is a cold and silver fire, pulsing with the same steady and rhythmic heartbeat that you feel within your own soul. You are a star amongst stars, a light amongst lights, drifting in the velvet embrace of the infinite. There is a profound sense of belonging here, a feeling of being held in the palm of a giant and loving hand, protected from the storm and the cold by the very vastness of the universe itself. You are safe, you are cherished, and you are eternally at rest. Listen to the hushing of the wind as it brushes against the ancient pines, a sound that is as old as the earth itself. It is a long and lonely moan, a song of the high tundras and the frozen peaks, but to you it is merely a gentle and lulling whisper, a promise of a sleep that will never end. The trees do not shiver, they stand tall and proud, their branches heavy with the weight of the frost bowing and bending in a slow and rhythmic dance of surrender. They have let go of their leaves, let go of their growth, let go of their very lives to find this moment of perfect frozen peace. You are like them, letting go of your thoughts, letting go of your worries, letting go of the self to find the stillness that lies at the heart of all things. The darkness here is not an absence of light, but a presence of peace so deep and so vast that it consumes everything in its path. It is a velvet darkness, a rich and heavy shadow that smells of pine and ice and ancient secrets. It presses against you with a soft and insistent pressure, encouraging you to close your eyes, to keep them closed, and to sink into the deep, dark waters of the eternal dream. You are becoming the darkness, a shimmering and shadow-filled presence that flows through the forest and across the lake, a spirit of the night that knows no fear and no sorrow. You are drifting, floating, sinking, moving into the very core of the silence where the world is a dream, and the dream is the only reality. The cold of the world outside is a beautiful and majestic force, a sculptor of ice and a painter of frost, but it cannot reach the warmth that burns at the center of your being. You are a spark of life in the heart of the winter, a tiny and eternal flame that is protected by the walls of the cabin and the strength of the mountains. This warmth is not a physical heat, but a warmth of the soul, a feeling of absolute and unwavering safety that radiates from your heart and fills the entire universe. You are cocooned in this warmth, tucked in by the stars, and the snow held fast in the arms of the ancient night. Everything is settling, everything is calming, everything is coming to a state of perfect and immutable equilibrium. The fire in the cabin has become a bed of silver ash. The cat has fallen into a dream of summer fields, and the clock has finally ceased its slow and heavy measurement of time. There is only the silence, the darkness, and the long, slow journey into the void. You are ready now, ready to let go of the last threads of wakefulness, to surrender to the pull of the eternal sleep, to sink into the starlit depths where the stars are born and the world is forgotten. Safe, so safe. Still, so still. Drifting, so drifting. You are the night, you are the snow, and you are the eternal frozen peace of the lake. Safe, you are safe so deeply, and utterly safe, tucked away within the hushing, hushing embrace of this ancient sanctuary. Whilst the world remains frozen in time, the walls of this cabin, these sturdy and silver-grey timbers, stand as faithful guardians against the wandering winds, holding you in a cocoon of absolute and unwavering protection. You are shielded, so beautifully shielded by the strength of the oak and the weight of the snow, a fortress of tranquility where no worry can enter and no shadow can disturb your rest. Every beam, every plank, every stone in the hearth whispers a single steady promise of security, a rhythmic and hushing melody that tells you that all is well, all is right, and all is exactly as it should be. You are safe, so safe, held in the palm of a winter that loves you, a season that has built this white-out world just to give you the gift of a perfect and endless peace. Warm, you are warm, so wonderfully and glowingly warm, whilst the world outside remains locked in its beautiful frozen slumber, amidst the cold, cold night. The heat of the embers, though they have faded to a deep and bruised crimson, remains a constant and comforting presence, a golden thread of light that binds you to the heart of the house. You are wrapped in layers of soft, soft wool and velvet dark silence, a nesting place of heat that permeates your skin and settles deep into your dreaming bones. This warmth is your birthright, a kind and ancient fire that burns within you, unquenchable and eternal, protected from the cold by the vast and silver mercy of the night. You are warm, so warm, drifting and floating in a sea of amber light, where the only movement is the slow and steady pulse of your own contented heart. Sheltered, you are sheltered so gracefully and eternally sheltered beneath the heavy and hushing blanket of the falling snow as the wind writs gouge softly in the distance. The storm is not your enemy. It is your nursemaid, a wild and white-clad spirit that sings a lullaby of isolation and peace. You are hidden away from the noise, hidden away from the light, tucked into a secret pocket of time where the world cannot find you. The ice upon the lake is a shield for the water, and the snow upon the roof is a shield for your spirit, a thick and silver insulation that muffles the footsteps of the passing hours. You are sheltered, so sheltered in the heart of the wilderness, a star in a cave of velvet, a leaf in a book of ice, a soul at rest in the sanctuary of the night. Loved, you are loved so quietly and profoundly loved by the silence that surrounds you and the stillness that holds you in this timeless moment. The universe has conspired to bring you to this state of absolute rest, clearing the sky of distractions and covering the earth in a shroud of white peace. You are part of the ancient rhythm of the earth, the slow and steady cycle of winter that prepares the ground for the dream of spring. There is a benevolence in the darkness, a kindness in the cold, and a mercy in the long and silent night that invites you to let go, to surrender, and to trust. You are loved, so loved, as you drift and dream, floating and sinking, moving ever closer to the deep and starlit well of a sleep that knows no waking until the time is right. Protected, you are protected, so surely and vigilantly protected by the spirits of the trees and the memory of the stone that builds your hearth. The pine trees stand tall amidst the whiteout, their frost-covered branches bowing in a silent prayer for your tranquility. The mountains lean against the sky, their vast and ancient presence a barrier against the chaos of the world. You are not alone in this stillness. You are accompanied by the breathing of the house and the dreaming of the cat, a unified symphony of peace that vibrates through the floorboards and into your very soul with a soft hoo-hoo rhythm. You are protected, so protected, held fast in the arms of the north, a child of the winter, a guest of the ice, a master of the silent and eternal now. Peaceful, you are peaceful, so deeply and radiantly peaceful as the last of your thoughts dissolve like snowflakes landing upon a warm and waiting lake. There is no more need for words, no more need for images, no more need for the self. You are becoming the peace that you seek, a vast and silent expanse of consciousness that is as calm as the frozen water and as clear as the winter air. Your breath is the breath of the wind. Your heart is the pulse of the fire, ticking tách in the gloom. Your mind is the silence of the snow. You are peaceful, so peaceful, drifting beyond the reach of the day, beyond the reach of the light, into the velvet and shadow-filled realm where sleep is the only truth. Sleep, you may sleep so long and so beautifully, sleep for the night is your friend, and the darkness is your home. There is nothing left to do, nowhere left to go, and nothing left to be, but the stillness itself, whilst the snow falls ever more heavily. The world is tucked in, the lake is frozen, and the cabin is silent. You are free to descend, free to sink, free to let the waters of the dream close over your head in a warm and silver embrace. Sleep is a gift, a blessing, a sacred journey into the heart of the void, and you are ready to embark upon it with a soul that is light and a heart that is full. Sleep, sleep, so softly, softly, hushing, hushing into the deep, dark and endless night. Assured, you are assured so calmly, and certainly assured that when you wake the world will be new, the light will be soft, and you will be refreshed and renewed. But for now that time is far, far away, a distant shore that you have no need to visit whilst the blizzard whispers outside. Your only task is to remain here in the heart of the winter, safe, warm, and wonderfully sleepy. The affirmations of peace are etched into the frost on the window. They are written in the ash in the hearth. They are whispered by the wind in the chimney. You are okay, you are whole, and you are exactly where you are meant to be in this tranquil space. Resting, you are resting so completely and holistically, resting from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head and into the very center of your being. The heavy weight of the night is a comfort, a velvet blanket that presses you down into the softness of the bed, encouraging you to stay, to linger, and to fade. You are a leaf in the snow, a star in the mist, a dream in the mind of the universe. The journey is over, the sanctuary is found, and the peace is absolute. Resting, resting, drifting, drifting. You are the silence, and the silence is you, eternal. You are eternal, so timelessly and beautifully eternal. In this moment of frozen perfection, the cabin by the lake is more than a place. It is a state of soul, a sanctuary that you can return to whenever the world becomes too loud or too bright. But tonight, you do not need to return, for you have never left. You are the heart of the winter, the soul of the snow, and the guardian of the stillness. You are safe, you are warm, and you are ready to disappear into the velvet dark, sinking into the long and starlit sleep of the ages. And now, even the memory of the cabin, the sturdy weight of the oak, and the crimson pulse of the dying embers begin to fray at the edges, dissolving ever so slowly into a fine and silver mist of pure potentiality. Whilst the world of form fades away, you are no longer anchored to a place nor to a time, but are drifting, floating, and wandering into the vast and nebulous expanse of the great unknown. The world of form is softening the boundaries between the self and the silence, are blurring, merging, and vanishing into a singular and shimmering void of absolute tranquility. It is a place beyond the reach of images, a realm where the light is a ghost of a shadow, and the dark is a velvet soft embrace of everything and nothing. You are sinking, moving beyond the shore of the mind and into the deep and starlit waters of the eternal unconsciousness. The silence here is not a lack of sound, but a vast and hushing presence, a heavy and humming vibration that sings in the key of the universe. It is a whispering, a hushing melody that has no beginning and no end, a circular and timeless song that cradles your spirit in a blanket of silver and shadow. You are becoming the silence, a quiet and expansive awareness that stretches out into the infinite, reaching for the furthest stars and the deepest shadows of the void. There is no weight here, no pressure and no resistance, only the effortless and rhythmic flow of the cosmic tide. You are a ripple upon a shoreless sea, a breath upon a windless night, a thought that has forgotten its own name, drifting, dreaming, floating. You are the nothingness, and the nothingness is everything. The concept of I is fading, turning into a fine and white powder that is carried away on the breath of the infinite, whilst you surrender to the deep dark. You are not a body, you are not a mind. You are merely a spark of pure and unadulterated peace, flickering softly in the velvet darkness of the night. Every memory of the day, every flicker of a worry, every tiny grain of a thought is being washed away by the rhythmic and hushing waves of the void. You are being cleansed by the stillness, purified by the silence, and held by the darkness in a way that is profound, beautiful, and absolute. There is no path to follow, for you have already arrived. There is no light to find, for you are the light. And there is no sleep to seek for. You have already become the dream itself, the other ascension, the Rengritzenden. Imagine now that the whiteout of the storm has moved inside, filling the vast and silent chambers of your soul with a soft and luminous fog. It is a warm fog, a kind fog, a hushing fog that covers the landscape of your consciousness in a thick and silver insulation. Within this mist, there is no up and no down, no left and no right. There is only the sensation of being carried, of being held, of being cherished by the great and silent mercy of the void. You are floating in a sea of pure existence, a realm of starlight and shadow, where the only reality is the slow and steady pulse of the eternal now. Sinking, drifting, floating, you are descending into the deepest, darkest, and most sacred reaches of the night, where the world is a distant memory, and the silence is your only home. The rhythm of the universe is a slow and steady hushing, a low-frequency hum that vibrates through the very essence of your being amidst the stillness. In and out, slow and deep, the breath of the stars, the breath of the void, the breath of the infinite. You are synchronized with this rhythm, your awareness expanding and contracting in a rhythmic and hypnotic dance of surrender. You are letting go layer after layer, shadow after shadow, until there is nothing left but the peace. You are the space between the stars, the silence between the words, and the stillness between the heartbeats. You are drifting, floating, and sinking, moving into the heart of the great and dark ocean of sleep, where the waters are warm and still and infinitely beautifully deep. The words are becoming echoes, distant and muffled sounds that drift like autumn leaves upon a dark and silent river. They carry no meaning now, only a feeling of warmth, a feeling of safety, and a feeling of absolute and unwavering peace. You are moving beyond the reach of language, beyond the reach of thought, into the realm of the pure and the wordless. The darkness is a velvet cloak, a soft and heavy blanket that is being pulled up over your consciousness, tucking you into the heart of the void. You are ready now, ready to let go, ready to disappear, ready to become the night itself. Safe, so safe. Quiet, so quiet. Still, so still. You are the dream, and the dream is you. The void is not empty. It is full of the silver light of 1,000 forgotten stars, a shimmering and shadow-filled landscape of pure rest. You are wandering through this landscape, a weightless and wandering spirit that leaves no footprints and carries no burdens. You are the frost upon the window of eternity, the smoke from the chimney of the universe, and the silence of the frozen lake that sleeps in the heart of the cosmos. Everything is blurring, everything is merging, everything is becoming one whilst the light fades. The cabin is gone, the forest is gone, the world is gone, and there is only this moment of perfect, absolute, and immutable peace. You are sinking, sinking, sinking into the deep and starlit well of the eternal dream. Feel the heavy and beautiful weight of the silence as it settles upon your spirit, a final and absolute blessing of the night. It is a hushing, hushing, a whispering, whispering promise of a rest that is deep and wide and shoreless. You are drifting on the edge of the infinite, ready to push off from the last shore of wakefulness and sail into the dark and silent waters of the void. There is no fear here, for you are home. There is no sorrow here, for you are whole. And there is no end here, for you are eternal. You are the silence, you are the darkness, and you are the long and slow journey into the heart of the eternal sleep. Every breath you take is a surrender to the night, a slow and steady descent into the velvet depths of the unknown. You are becoming as vast as the sky, as deep as the ocean, and as still as the stars. The world is a flicker of light on a far-off shore, a memory of a dream that is fading into the whiteout of the void. You are here in the heart of the stillness, safe and warm and wonderfully, beautifully sleepy. The journey is over, the sanctuary is found, and the peace is absolute. Let go, let go, let go. Sink into the darkness, sink into the silence, and sink into the long and starlit sleep of the ages. And now, as the last of the light fades into the velvet blackness, you find yourself at the very center of the stillness. There is no movement here, no sound and no thought. There is only the heavy and beautiful weight of the night, a soft and hushing blanket that covers everything in a shroud of silver and shadow. You are the void, and the void is you, a singular and shimmering point of peace in the heart of the infinite. Sleep, sleep, softly, softly, hushing, hushing, into the deep, dark and endless night. You are safe, you are warm, and you are eternally at rest in the arms